Noel John Christopher Harrison was an English singer, actor, and Olympic skier. He was the son of the actor Rex Harrison. Early life. He was born in Kensington in London in 1934. His mother, Colette Thomas, was the first of Rex Harrison's 6 wives. They divorced in 1942. He lived with his mother's parents in Bude, North Cornwall, during World War II. At age 15 she took him out of school at Radley to live in the Swiss Alps. He never returned to school and began ski racing. He joined the Ipswich Repertory Theatre group and taught himself guitar, but his main interest and most of his spare time was spent skiing. At an early age he was a member of the British ski team, becoming its first giant slalom champion in 1953, and representing Great Britain at the 1952 Winter Olympics in Oslo, Norway, and at the 1956 Winter Olympics in Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy. Harrison undertook national service and, after leaving the army in the 1950s, toyed with the idea of becoming a journalist, but instead concentrated on his guitar. His early break came when he took a regular part in the BBC television programme Tonight, as part of a team who sang the day's news in a calypso style. When Harrison was 20, he started playing professionally, around the tables in a Greek restaurant in London. He also made a living playing in bars and nightclubs all over Europe, including appearances at the Blue Angel Club, where one show was recorded for a live album. Moved to United States. After appearing in small roles in British films such as The Best of Enemies, Hot Enough for June and Where the Spies Are, Harrison left for the United States in 1965, working as a nightclub entertainer at such venues as the Hungry Eye in San Francisco, and at the Persian Room in New York City. Thanks to his managers Bob Chartoff and L. Arwin Winkler, who went on to produce the Rocky films, he had a record reach the charts. The track was A Young Girl, written by Charles Aznavour. In 1966–1967, he appeared as Mark Slate in The Girl from U.N.C.L.E., as the co-star of Stephanie Powers. As Mark Slate, he also appeared once on The Man from U.N.C.L.E., in a third-season episode titled The Galatea Affair. A Young Girl was included as one of the tracks on Harrison's debut album, Noel Harrison, in 1966. 2 years later, he recorded The Windmills of Your Mind, the theme tune from the film The Thomas Crown Affair, which won the Academy Award for Best Original Song in 1968, and was also a top 10 hit in the UK singles chart. Despite the song winning the 1968 Oscar for Best Original Song, Harrison did not sing it at the ceremony. Instead, his place was taken by Jose Feliciano. The change was made because he was working on the film Take a Girl Like You in England, with Oliver Reed and Hayley Mills. Coincidentally, Rex had sung the Oscar-winning song only the previous year. The television series, plus the Top 40 record, landed Harrison a recording contract with Reprise, who released 3 of his albums, Collage, Santa Monica Pier and The Great Electric Experiment Is Over. Collage reached number 135 in the United States Billboard 200 chart. He also toured with the Beach Boys, and Sonny and Cher, appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show, featured on a music program, Hullabaloo, and appeared on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. In 1968, Harrison played the male lead in The Fantastics, in touring theaters in the round, including the Cape Cod Melody Tent in Hyannis, Massachusetts. In 1970, Harrison was one of the guest stars in the only 3-part episode of the TV series Mission Impossible as a simpleton member of a royal family. Moved to Canada. In 1972, Harrison left the United States for Nova Scotia, settling in rural Mount Hanley. He bought a farmhouse with 320 acres of farmland, and from there he commuted to Halifax, where he hosted a show called Take Time for CBC Television. In winter 1974, the wood stove caught fire and his house burned down, inspiring him to write the humorous song, The Middleton Fire Brigade, which appeared on his 1979 album Mount Hanley Song. He subsequently built a new house from scratch with no electricity. Inspired by the fashionable pioneers Helen and Scott Nearing and their self-help Bible, Living the Good Life, touring shows. During the 1970s, Harrison toured the United States in productions of Camelot and The Sound of Music. He also played Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady, the part first performed by Rex in the musical's original stage production and film version. Other touring roles included King Arthur in Camelot, Baron von Trapp in The Sound of Music, Don Quixote in Man of La Mancha, Brian Runnicles in No Sex Please, We're British and Lloyd Dallas in Noises Off. An admirer of Jacques Brel, Harrison later created a one-man musical, Adieu, Jacques, and in 2002 released an album of songs from the show, Return to England. In the late 1990s, Harrison returned to England, relocating his home to the county of Devon. He had also begun acting again, appearing in the cinema films Power and Day of Ooh, and continued to sing, appearing in occasional concerts to finance the recording and release of his self-produced albums, such as Hold Back Time. A compilation album of his work titled Life is a Dream was released by the American Reprise record label in 2003, and his debut album, Noel Harrison, was re-released in 2008. In 2010, he recorded a new album, From the Sublime to the Ridiculous. The record was made as part of the internet event, the RPM Challenge, which challenged musicians to record a new album from scratch during the month of February. In June 2011 he played Glastonbury Festival's Spirit of 71 stage, marking 40 years since his appearance at the second staging of the festival. The performance was televised by the British Broadcasting Corporation, including a backstage acoustic version of the legendary The Windmills of Your Mind. Death. Harrison died in hospital after suffering a heart attack at his Devon home, several hours after performing a concert locally on the evening of 19 October 2013. Discography. Albums: Noel Harrison at the Blue Angel, Noel Harrison at Unmusic, Noel Harrison, Collage, Santa Monica Pier. The Great Electric Experiment is overproduced by Peter Pylalfian and arranged by Luis Enrique Rosa. The World of Noel Harrison. Mount Hanley Song. Live from Boulevard Music. Adieu, Jacques. Hold Back Time. Life is a Dream. From the Sublime to the Ridiculous.